let's talk registered names. I do have some treats here because they wouldn't come up without them. I did a full video of all of my horses' registered names, my big horses, and everyone was like, you left somebody out. Why aren't you telling us the mini girls' names since they're all registered? This one isn't mine. He's just a visitor, so he's being left out. So sorry, Maddox. But I figured I would do a list of all the registered names of my mini horses. And since we're doing all the registered names, I'm not gonna go through all like 100 of my cattle, but the ones that are mine that I've bought that y'all know of will go through my Simmental cattle registered names as well. So let's get to it. There you go. First up, this is Regina. Y'all know Regina. You've watched her be a mama. She is an ex-show horse. She apparently has to eat her treats in solitude. She doesn't want me to take it away from her, I guess. But Regina is triple registered. She's registered AMHA, AMHR, and as a Shetland pony. So AMHA is American Miniature Horse Association. So it is a breed registry, whereas AMHR, American Miniature Horse Registry, is a height association. So if they are bred with an AMHA horse, they can be AMHA registered, but they are 34 inches and below. Whereas American Miniature Horse Registry, I believe, is 36 inches and below, possibly 38. I'm not an expert, so you can correct me on that, but you can hardship a horse's registration based on their height to get into that registry. And then the American Shetland Pony Association, that's another breed registry. So Regina is triple registered as Rowan Creek, chasing that neon rainbow. I know, it's a lot. But just like how we do with the quarter horses and in other breed registries, a lot of breeders will put their beginning, like their, like as I do RS with my quarter horses because we have a limited character amount, there's a lot more characters available in the registered names of miniature horses. So when I register Jack, who you'll meet later, it'll start with Running Springs instead of RS. So the same thing with some of these names you'll hear have beginnings to them, and it's an ode to the farm that bred them. Okay, there's no way these ladies are nearly as polite as Maddox was being. So starting off, this is Coco. So Coco is also triple registered. She is bred at the moment, and she's gonna be having a foal next spring, actually kind of late winter. But her name is Ravik Joke Emotions Contessa. Yeah. Okay, now Karen is also AMHA and AMHR registered, but she is not Shetland registered. Now she has some like royal bloodlines as a miniature horse. So her dad is Nighthawk, which is like a really old bloodline, very, very prolific sire in the miniature horse world. So her name is Los, L-O-S. I don't know if it's Arboles or Arboles. It's A-R-B-O-L-E-S, Silverhawk. So her baby, this past year, we put Silverhawk into the name because it was super cute. So, Los Arboles, Silverhawk, and Ravik Joke Emotions, Contessa. Okay, I guess you two are next since you're demanding the spotlight. Ow, Jack. Okay, this is Janis and Jack. You saw that he was born almost exactly 3 weeks ago, okay? And he's a little rotten boy. So, Janis, her registered name, and she's AMHR registered only. Her registered name is Hill Sweet Melissa. And then Jack is going to be registered AMHA and AMHR, and his name, we haven't registered him yet, but it's going to be Running Springs Jack on the Rocks, which is an ode to his sire, which is ERL Cuddy Rocks the House. Mwah, yeah, that's your big boy name. Your big boy name. And then Gretchen, this is my 2-year-old, so hasn't shown, we're not sure what the plan is for her. I think she'd be a great kids horse for like my future kids and whatnot. She's also only registered AMHR. She's gonna be a little bit bigger. She might be like that 36-inch range. Her name is In Motion Rulers Fashionista. Cause you fashionista, girl, you gorgeous. Oh, Janis and her have a complicated relationship right now. So we actually have to go down the road a little bit because we have a lease property that we keep some of our heifers at. So we have 3 heifers over here that are mine that we'll see what their names are. A red one and 2 blue roans, and then we'll go to the big farm. Now onto the Simmentals. So I have a couple of weanling heifers, a couple of first calf heifers, and then on the other farm will have the mamas. Now, I'm not gonna go over every cow here because I don't own all of them. So we're gonna go over the ones that I personally own. This is my family farm, so this is all owned by my parents and myself and my husband. Just like with the horses, you know, we use RS as a prefix for the quarter horses. We use Running Springs as a prefix for the miniature horses. For our cattle, we use Miss RSCC, which stands for Running Springs Cattle Co., for our heifer calves that we register. So anything that we've bred here will have Miss RSCC in front of her name, and then generally with livestock, there's like a letter year. So it's not 100% accurate because sometimes we go off of book, but generally there's an M year, there's a L year, an F year, a C year, you know, it goes in alphabetical order. So a lot of these have names that start with the same letter, and then we don't get too crazy with it. We just do Miss RSCC and then their name. Now, if we've bought cattle, like a couple of these I've bought, they'll have their original breeder's prefix. So this right here, M55K, I purchased her at last year's sale. We videoed that. So I affectionately call her MoonPie. She's a first calf heifer, so she'll be having her first baby this December. But she is named Circle M because I bought her from Martin Farms, Circle M Blue Moon. So we affectionately now turned that into MoonPie. And then the one right next to her, this is actually her niece, but they're the same age. So her name, because we bred her, is Miss RSCC Maybelle, and we call her Maybelle. Her mama, you're gonna meet in a minute, is Bluebell. So there's a theme for sure. Unfortunately, a couple of them have decided to just absolutely hide, and they are making it very difficult to get to them. So I'm gonna let Nate do some camera magic to focus in on this pretty lady over here, one of my weanlings. So this is Miss RSCC Merida. Now this one I'm very excited about. This is Lucille, AKA Miss RSCC Lucille. So she's the daughter of Fiona. I sold Fiona in the sale last year. So she's a granddaughter of my first ever cow that I ever bought with my own money, which was Leona. You'll meet her in a bit. And so the heifer calf that she's carrying, she's having her very first heifer calf this year, will be a fourth generation calf from my own breeding program. So that's, I guess, third generation calf, fourth generation that I own. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be really, really cool. So again, Nate's gonna have to do some camera work because she won't look at us right now. We'll get it here in a second. But my other weanling, which is a daughter of Leona, so it's the it's the aunt to Lucille. It all gets mixed up, but her name is Miss RSCC Mona Lisa. We call her Mona, but she's got a little fancier name. So Miss RSCC Mona Lisa is this beautiful blaze-faced red heifer right here. Hi, Bonnie. So Bonnie is one that I kind of went viral with, purchasing her at the sale, I believe 3 years ago. So her name is Circle M Blue Bonnet. So she's the daughter of Bluebell. We'll go see her in a moment. So from Blue Bonnet, because they were calling her Blue Bonnet, I was like, we gotta shorten it. So that's where Bonnie came from. Now she is entered into the sale again this year. She's bred to our Bull Justice. I have to be a team player and always enter a cow into our sale. I can't take up ground and space here without participating in everything. So unfortunately, she's carrying a Justice calf that was too late in the year, so she's going to be having a late winter calf where we're trying to stay in the fall. A lot of people do it that way, and that's preferable for them. And then we also didn't know if she was carrying a heifer or a bull calf, and it just didn't work out that she was at the top of my priority list for calving this year. So she has beautiful calves. It's no fault of her own as a mama. Hopefully she has a little blue roan heifer calf this year, and it'll be gorgeous. So that's Bonnie. Now let's go to the last three, which should all be together. Okay, it actually took us a minute to find these mama cows. These are all the cows that will be calving in the next, honestly, like month. We're on the cusp of calving season, which is gonna be super fun. Let me know if you have any questions leading up to that. Bluebell, this blue roan mama, she's kind of the matriarch of the blue roans. So she's the mama of Bonnie. She is the mama of Maybelle, the grandmother of MoonPie, and I'm super excited for her Justice calf that will be coming in the next, like I said, month or so. So really excited for that. I don't believe we know if she's having, I think she's having a heifer. It could be black, it could be blue roan. So that is Bluebell, AKA Circle M Bluebell. And then over here, two more, my red ladies. So this lady over here, this pretty woman, is Leona. Now, because she was my first cow that I ever bought, that means that she's not bred by us. Leona, her name doesn't coincide. So it's MF/WTR Fraulein. She was born in the F year. So they had called her Fraulein previously, but my pap had encouraged me to bid and was like, hey, we got to get this cow. And he was like, I'll help you buy her. So he was my first investor. He was like, I'll help you buy her if you name her Leona, because Leona is his Leona's his partner's name. So that was really fun. So now Leona has a cow named after her. So Lee and Leona, they've met a couple of times. Now Leona, again, she's been like the starting point of my cows. So she's the mother of the next one you're going to meet, which is the last one. She's the grandmother of Lucille and the grandmother of Merida, and then she's the mother of Mona Lisa. So last but not least is Winona, aka Miss RSCC Winona. So this is an example of we just went with like the theme of her mom's name, because we had always done like Leona, Fiona, Winona. Like we always went with that theme. And so she was born in the K year, so she should have been probably like Kiana or something, I don't know, but we named her Winona and it fits her perfectly. So she is going to be having her second calf this year. I believe she's having a red heifer calf. Super duper excited about it. So last but not least, Miss RSCC Winona. Hope you enjoyed all those registered names. Which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? And stay tuned, because calving season is not that far away. Let us know if you have any questions about these mamas, the babies they're carrying, anything that goes into the Simmental herd that we have, about the cattle sale coming up. We would love to answer any of that, since that's about to ramp up. And let me know what you think about the mini girls, because their names, they're for sure interesting, but I probably say that about my quarter horse names too. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.